What's up, guys? Tim Little, JD Little. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today's video got a special video for you. Today we're gonna be hoofing it. We're gonna be doing some shore fishing, gonna be doing some pond fishing. Should be a good one. Let's go. All right, guys, first look at the pond. Again, never fished it before. Mr. Roberts was nice enough to invite us out, and hasn't been fished in a while, so hopefully there's bass in it. But basically, JD's got 3 rods, I've got 3 rods. Trying to keep it really simple. Basically a topwater rod, like a frog, something we can fish these, looks like there's dollar pads and lily pads out here. And then a universal rod, like a 7'2" medium heavy, something we can throw like a swim bait on, or a flashy swimmer, maybe a little heavier Texas rig. But we're excited, it looks great. It looks like it's got some standing timber over here still. Again, you never know what you're gonna get when you show up to a new pond, but looks like it's fairly well maintained, so we should be able to walk around almost, probably, you know, 3/4 of the perimeter. Looks like we got some tulies down there, the dams down there, so that typically should be the deeper side. So how we're gonna break this down, we're gonna probably start over here, throwing some top water in the pads, and then work our way down and see if we can figure out where these fish are. Let's go. Another tip to you guys, wear light colored clothing. Muck boots helps with snake bites and ticks, and then the light colored clothing allows you to see if you got ticks walking on you, because we all know there's ticks out and about. Let's start off throwing this little poppin' frog. There we go. It's always nice when you get bit on the first cast in a pond. Again, we're hoping there's bass in here. On the board, X zone. Thanks, dude. Hey. All right, guys, wrapped up pond number 1. Now we're on pond number 2. That first pond, I didn't have the right stuff. As you could see in the video, there was dollar pads and lily pads around the entire circumference of the pond. So I feel like those fish were just outside of our cast reach, right? I didn't bring, I felt like those fish were in those pads. So I'd need like a flipping stick and like a punch setup, like a 3/4 ounce or a 1 ounce or even a 1.5 ounce tungsten to get down through that stuff like we would in heavy vegetation down in Florida or something. But ended up catching one beautiful pond. I think that if I came prepared with the right stuff next time, we could definitely blast it. But now we're at pond number 2. Again, never fished this pond either, and gonna see if there's bass in it. But I kind of wanted to run you through, you know, I told you that we had 3 setups, right? 3 rods. I like to keep it super simple. Again, that's kind of what was the demise of the last pond, is I didn't have the right stuff. But got a little Play-Doh bag here, just gonna kind of walk you through what we got. basically just some swim baits, some worms, some pliers, a couple more swim baits, some flukes. You know, this is kind of just my pond fishing bag. Some Senkos, again, some T-Max, some brush hogs, some adrenaline craws, leader line, self-explanatory, and then just one tackle box with some frogs, some wavers, some underspins, hooks, wakes, flashy swimmers, just a whole bunch of different things. Again, not trying to bring a ton of stuff, just some soft plastics and some different lures that caught fish on the you know, on the past in, and just have a ton of confidence. But now I got a whopper plopper rigged on, a chatterbait, and a biffle bug. And JD's got a power shot, a chatterbait, and an underspin. So let's go see if we can catch some more fish in pond number 2. Got one. Oh, I lost him. Well, there's bass in here.
Good son.
Dang it.
Were you just fishing the edge?
Yeah, just fishing the edge with that adrenaline crawl.
They probably are on the edge. There's any cover probably on with that bush.
Got him.
Yep.
Got him. Come here, bud.
Nice.
Grab your shaky head, dude.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. There's one.
Oh, we're on the board. Lost one. Got one. Thank you, sir. Flip it back in there. You just lost one. We were just talking about, drop it. We were just talking about making a move. We're starting here on this corner. The dam's over here. We're gonna work counterclockwise, and right as I turned the camera off, JD had one hit as he was reeling it in. There he goes. What'd you get? Oh. Bring it over here.
Nice bass.
Is that catfish?
Yeah.
Oh, help him in the water. Can you lip him? Grab him. Show him to the camera. Grab him right behind the spines.
I'm trying. Oh.
Oh, quick release.
Slimy. Oh, yep. Oh.
A little kitty cat.
Yep.
Again, when you're fishing ponds you never fished before, you never know what you're going to catch. Nice work. Got him. Got one on the flashy swimmer. The one that I told JD to throw that he didn't want to throw. Thanks, dude. So we're back in the corner where we started. We went about halfway down that way and realized that, one, the grass is about 5.5 feet tall, and two, the shoreline's about 18 feet deep, so super steep. So we're gonna work back our way around this way clockwise, and in this corner we've caught 2. JD caught a catfish, lost a bass. All of our bites have been right in this bottom corner right here. Cast along the shoreline. Look at that boil.
Oh, this does
Bait. Broke me off. Get him! Oh, Diddy's on over there. Nice, dude. Nice. So Diddy went to that far corner and made a cast along that other bank over there. Again, it's the only stretch on that side, here, and back on that other corner to access. And that was his first cast over there and caught a nice one. Looked like about 3-pounder or so. How big?
2.5 pounds.
Oh, 2.5, 3 pounds, what he said. What'd you catch it on?
Flashy swimmer.
Flashy swimmer. Nice job, dude. Nice work, dude. Finally on the board, huh?
Yep.
All right, let him go. All right, I won't make a cast here. I'll let you keep your spot. Get him? Where you at?
Over here, he fell down in the bushes.
Did he come off?
Yeah, but he's in the bush. You see him?
No, hold him up. Go to your right. Keep going. Got him. All right, go let him go. Back over here in Bass Corner. Thanks, dude. Ooh. So guys, we're really limited on these. The first pond had a ton of features, right? It had some points, had a really deep dam, had some standing timber, had some lily pads, and just a lot of stuff to fish. Now the second pond's more like a farm pond where it's really featureless. You got your dam over here. Typically you can tell the depth of a pond by how steep or how tall the dam is. And with all of this the shoreline basically covered with high willows or grass, basically the corner here, you can fish here and you can fish there. And then that corner, we could probably fish there and there. We'll make our way over to that one. But if you come out anywhere along this stretch of shoreline over here, you can only throw out to the middle of the pond. And we haven't had a single bite out there. They're all right along the shoreline. So basically we're limited to the corners of the pond, but still having a blast catching them on little creature baits, catching them on swim baits. Pretty fun. Just got bit. Doop doop. That's it though. Got bit right there too. Doop. Oh, I folded my tail over.
if there's anything on this side.
Oh, that was a catfish.
Did you see him fly?
Yeah. He ate my bait and then jumped out of the water. Like a little channel cat. Yeah. That was pretty funny. Stop it. Yep. You gotta pull that line tight, otherwise it's gonna go in those willows. Got him. Catfish? Yeah. He's doing the roll. Come here, bud.
Oh, what's a nice one?
Got it in the dome.
I'm not pleasure here. Didn't know.
Thanks, dude.
I didn't know catfish were aggressive like that. That's only off bottom.
Nope. They... Here. In my pond growing up, I watched like a 12-pound cat try and eat like a 4-pound largemouth.
Really?
And got him right on the back and basically crushed his back. And the bass escaped eventually, but he was always...
Weird looking off.
Always weird looking, yeah. Nothing? That walk all the way over here and nothing? It's got bit again. It wasn't by a bass. Okay, so the one thing I'm doing that you're not doing. Exactly. Every fiber, did you see me doing that? I saw you watching. As soon as I twitch, doom. What that does is that gets that blade, it's just spinning, 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 right? That blade, as soon as you do a reel twitch, or you stop your twitch for a second, your reel turn, come here, cat. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. It changes that.
That's what I was doing.
That vibration, and it kind of blows out that blade and flashes sideways. Can you see that? So on the catfish, you have a spike here, you have a spike here, and a spike there. Okay? So you can grab them right behind the spikes if you want. They don't sting like some people say.
Why do people say that then?
Thanks, dude.
Why do people say that?
I don't know. I think it's just because people
don't like their whiskers.
They think, yeah, I don't know.
I think that's
they think it's an electric eel or something. But so yeah, you have the two. Look at me. The two fins on the outside, and you have the dorsal fin. So the pectoral fins and the dorsal fins, and they're like little ice picks, and they can get you. So if you just grab them behind that, you're good. He twisted this thing all up.
He was like, whoa.
Get him? There it is. Catfish corner. Keep him up. They pull a little bit harder on the bass, huh?
Why do they swim like that?
They do that catfish roll. All right, bring them up in here through the grass. Grab the line.
That's a nice one. Ooh,
Okay.
On me.
So, I don't typically teach to lip catfish because I have had
Come get you.
my fingernail ripped off.
How do they rip your
But guys at home, right here, you see that spine? There's two. There's one there, and there's the dorsal fin. Those are the only ones you got to worry about on the catfish. But feel that spine.
Where?
I just showed you where.
There's not.
Hold him by his spines. One on left, one on right.
This?
No, up. Go up. Slide up, slide up, slide up. You'll feel it. Slide up. Keep sliding. Feel them?
Oh, these?
Yeah, they stick straight out. They won't poke you.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, you got that one right there.
Huh? And then the dorsal, yep.
Yep, okay. On the catfish cheese.
Yeah, catfish corner. Nice work. Guys, I can't tell you how much I actually enjoy this. Even though we're catching, you know, 2.5 pounders and then small catfish. And this is exactly how I grew up. Fishing farm ponds, getting to know my neighbors, asking permission, you know, treating their property as if it was mine, picking up trash, and did you get bit? And then getting invited back. Just getting back to the roots. Good old bass fishing, right? No electronics, not a lot of gear, just some muck boots, some light pants so you can see the ticks, and some braided lines so that you could break rod tips on tree branches and then not pay dad back for the rod that he broke. But guys, this has been awesome. You know, JD, he's 11. You know, it's just cool. He gets to spend some time out on the bass boat. He gets to, you know, he gets to enjoy some things that I didn't get to enjoy at his age. But there's something to be said about getting back to square one, right? The very beginning, asking permission, walking up to an adult, a stranger, introducing yourself, being polite, and getting permission to fish their property, their ponds, and then catching fish, right? Just so much fun. So we're gonna wrap it up over on that far side. This is definitely catfish corner. You guys can see what we had to hike through. Lots of tall grass and berry bushes and vines and poison ivy. But we're gonna finish back over there on the dam and try and catch a couple more bass, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. I lost track of how many fish we caught between catfish and bass, but probably about a dozen or so. Again, getting back to the roots, it's what I love to do. It's how I grew up fishing. You know, I wasn't a kid that, I didn't get into my first bass boat until I was in my late teens, early 20s. Those of you guys that follow the channel know that both Matt and I started in like float tubes and little aluminum boats, and you know, walking ponds and little lakes and stuff, and then kind of graduated, worked our way into the bigger and bigger bass boats. You guys probably saw the Skeeter walk through the last couple weeks, so super blessed to have those. But again, there's a lot to be said for getting out on a farm pond and walking and catching fish, especially with your young ones. But I wanted to go through real quick. Basically, you saw my pond bag. I did a terrible job earlier today showing you guys kind of what I brought, but basically it's just a little bit of everything. So, you know, when I go to, or when I'm thinking pond fishing, you never know what you're gonna get, right? It might be a farm pond like this, or it might be the pond like we started off today, where it was a bunch of lily pads, points. It was well, I guess they're all really man-made ponds, but it was a pond that was designed by a fisherman. So it had breaks and stump piles and standing timber. So it had a lot of features, where this is typically, or the farm ponds are usually featureless. But all that to say, I usually have some kind of swim bait. So I'll either have like a little glide bait, or a little weedless swim bait, like a flashy swimmer like we were throwing today. We were throwing the X Zone, and we are throwing the Big Bite, the Pro Swimmer, in like a bluegill color. I will have some kind of creature bait. Today we are throwing that X Zone, that adrenaline craw. You know, that helps me figure out how deep the fishery is, right? I'm able to flip that bait out there, count it down, or watch it down, and then reel tight and lift up and see, is that 2 feet deep, or is it 18 feet deep, right? So I have some kind of creature bait. You know, you could throw a brush hog or whatever, but again, I love the kick on those adrenaline craws. Swim baits. JD today was throwing that Mayer on the flashy swimmer. I was throwing the X Zone, like I said. I did not break out the glide bait today, just because if I did get it hung up, I'd have to break it off, and I don't want to leave any baits or garbage in these guys' ponds. So again, some kind of swim bait, okay? Some kind of creature bait, something that I can fish on bottom. And then right along with that, I'm throwing some kind of either a T-Mac or a stick bait, like a weightless Senko, okay? Those are just staples in my everyday arsenal and my pond fishing arsenal. And then where I get the most diverse is topwater, okay? Whether that's a kick and toad, right? Like that's Spro. I put a little blade on there. Whether that's a a whopper plopper or a little buzz bait. There's another whopper plopper, little Damiki popper. You know, pond fishing, I love throwing topwater. Yeah, typically the fish are aggressive, especially if you're in a pond that has a ton of fish. Usually they're smaller, but they're aggressive. So throwing a little popper is awesome. And then, you know, a kicking frog, something that I can throw over the grass. As we get farther into or later into spring, closer to summer, you get more of that grass getting up on surface. So some kind of frog, some kind of walking frog is a must. But again, I'm throwing some kind of something that I can fish down on bottom. If I had just 3 rods, I'm bringing a topwater rod. I'm bringing a rod that I can throw a mid-sized swim bait, whether it's a glide bait or a flashy swimmer with like a 4.8 or a 5-inch, you know, size swim bait. And I'm bringing another universal rod that I can throw a power shot on, or I can throw a shaky head on, or I can throw a little biffle head like I was throwing that little X-Zone on today. But just 3 rods really to do it all, and then just kind of a handful of different baits will really allow you to run through the different styles of baits and figure out how to catch them. But guys, as always, we appreciate the support. I will link all this stuff down below in the video description. But again, I can't express it enough. I love getting back to the roots, out fishing farm ponds. You know, since Matt and I moved back east, you know, that's one of the things I miss the most, is having the access to all the ponds that I spent, you know, a couple decades building rapport with those landowners and the access to fish those fisheries. So now we're back at square one, meeting new people, introducing ourselves. But it's good, you know, if you need to, if you have written permission, keep that on you in case you get stopped by a game warden or something. But make sure you have permission, make sure you're not trespassing. And again, like I said, try and leave it cleaner than you found it. If you find trash, or you can do something to help clean up, do that, because that will help build that rapport and that relationship with the landowners. But guys, as always, we appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. If you like this type of video, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you guys on the next video.